Good afternoon. Hope all's well. Welcome to another live session on the BTH Properties profile. Um, Amazing weather in London today. I should have been doing this outside, but the internet connection is so shabby when it comes to going outside and using it. So yeah, I'm stuck within these four walls to do this live session right now with a musician. Actually, it's pretty cool to have a musician online. Should be cool, should be good. Actually, this is the first time I'm possibly interviewing a musician. Let me send this live story to him. There we go. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. I mean, I've never interviewed a stand-up comedian, but yesterday when I had the session with Premium Porridge, amazing. Here we go, connecting.
Hello.
Hello,
Hey.
how are you?
Very good. And you?
Good, all is well. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfect. Wait, let me see if I can. If I turn it like this, wait.
If you turn it like that, then I can see you horizontal. If you leave it like that, it's perfect.
Maybe let me check away so I can, because I have to connect it. Wait. I'll make sure this works. Like that. And yeah, perfect. How are you?
Super. And yourself?
Very good.
Where are you based? And Satafly, is Satafly your real name or what is your real name?
Well, I am Eduardo Porco Trujillo. I am from Venezuela. And yeah, I've been kind of like traveling, looking for better life, starting from zero. Like
So are
times.
you currently in Spain right now?
Yes, in Spain right now, with all this confinement with the coronavirus happening. I'm based in Malaga, in the city.
Okay.
But right now I'm in Estepona, which
Okay.
is in my sister's house because it's a little bit better to have more open air,
Yeah.
terrace. So,
More inspiration for your music.
for sure, man. So I'm able to still write and compose and still doing stuff. So
you need
it's
that
good.
you need that open space to write and so Eduardo, before we start, if you can introduce yourself. I know you introduce yourself as to who you are,
Yeah.
but can you please introduce yourself as to who you are and what you do so that we can get the conversation going?
Yeah, so I am mostly a performer, but I'm a music producer. So all the it's referring to audio and recording and all the stuff. I studied it, and then I realized that I also have my own music, and I also help other people to make music. I love to collab, and
You do
I also
collaborations.
yeah, and teaching also. I started by teaching music, so
Okay.
you get really a good connection of what people can do, and then you realize that everybody, it's able to learn, no matter what kind of expression will be
This
singing.
is the point. This is exactly the point. I mean, I come from a property background. I deal with properties in London, high end, low end, whatever. But while doing these live sessions, I want to do it with different people.
Yeah,
I could just go out and do live sessions with people who are in the property industry, property developers, property brokers, property investors, but it starts getting boring. And people just don't want to listen about property. Like, for example, not everyone can afford a property,
for sure. Yeah,
but everyone can afford to listen to music.
yeah.
Everyone can afford to see a magic show, all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff. So it's all about creating bringing out that knowledge and, passing on that knowledge to people who are locked down right now or feeling negative or feeling
Yeah,
down, feeling depressed, whatever. I know that obviously in the right now we've just got me and you on this live session, but this live session will stay on for another 24 hours on my life story. So
yeah,
people who are connected to you, people who are connected to me, will see this live session and possibly get some inspiration out of that. So that's
yeah,
the whole point of doing this. So Eduardo, you mentioned that you were from Venezuela.
yeah. Venezuela.
Venezuela. How was it there? How was life there? I mean, since you were a kid, were you always looking to do music, or no, you had something else in your mind?
Well, Venezuela. I grew up in Venezuela in Caracas, which is the city and the main capital, and we had a really bad situation politically, and it turned everything upside down.
Venezuela has always had that issue, right? Always.
Well, always not that bad as the last 20 years, which we had this last guy then, and now we have this other guy that it's total disaster. Well, if I talk too much, we're
Yeah.
gonna just talk about that. So just resume it. It's like it's
Can
a
I
really dangerous city, but it's full of flavor, full of people that it's
absolutely.
mixed with everybody, Europeans.
When I was investing in Bitcoin,
Yeah,
Venezuela was one of the countries that was on the forefront of people investing in Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, this is one South American country that's actually promoting,
yeah.
for its people to go out. But yes, carry on. You were saying about the politics
Because
of,
this that you say is very important because people there is they don't afford to because the economy is so bad that
I mean,
now
I
people
saw
need.
money on the streets.
Yeah, because
Was that
it's.
real? Was that real?
I mean, the thing is like one for example, 1 pound, it will be like so many bills. So nowadays, if you want to buy a bottle of Coca-Cola, you have to get a full bag, like a backpack full of cash. Things like this that makes no sense. So nowadays, people just pay with
In
dollars.
dollars.
Everything is getting dollarized. So people starting to put their hands into Bitcoin, into working online, and so it's very innovative. Like the bad crisis situation made the people find a way to make dollars to they can.
Do you think it will go back to normal?
Well, right now it's a very big monster that they're fighting with because it has to do with cartels and stuff and
It's one of the oil rich
yeah,
countries
riches. Yeah, but
in the South Americas.
it is but nowadays now we have a really crazy situation. There's no gasoline. There's like they're trying to shortage. It's really bad situation right now that's happening in Venezuela, but people manage to live still and do their things daily, but still you have all this stuff like you only have like some people in some areas only 20 minutes of water a day, so you have to be careful and take that water, fill your tanks so you'll be able to like take a bath, take a shower, whatever.
Wow. Wow.
It's very like basic needs that we have here in Europe and the States and London.
It's not there.
It's normal like there.
It's like luxury out there.
Yeah, it is, and so it's. I think I have faith that it's gonna go back, and I would love to go back to my country because I love it, and it's really beautiful. I haven't been there for almost 9 years now.
Wow.
I
So you've
left,
been in
yeah.
Spain all this time.
No, no, I have a really long story. Like I went out to Venezuela. I
So
went to study in
let's talk
Colombia.
about your story. Let's leave politics on the side.
Yeah, let's leave on
Um
the side.
so when you were a kid and you were growing up, college, life, university, did you always think that music is the industry that I want to get into, or you had other aspirations?
No, I had it as a hobby. I
What did you think that you wanted to become?
So I was in Venezuela, so I graduated high school and I started working right away, like we're just working construction with an uncle, doing any kind of construction work. I just wanted money,
Okay.
being honest.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not gonna study. I'm just gonna work, work, work.
So straight
But
after high school, you got into work.
yeah, but I always had music on the side. I always play guitar. I always love to jam. And then my mom is like, "Hey, you have to study. Do this, do this, do this." Thanks to my mom, like for real, and my dad for sure that he helped me with to pay like some. Then I went to Colombia, to Bogota, to study music production there because it was affordable.
So
And then
your parents actually supported you
Yes.
through your journey of getting into music.
Yeah, but not just being a musician, just like getting into like the commercial side of it, studying production, kind of with sound engineering and all those stuff. So,
So you
that's
had
something that,
their support.
yes, I have their support, but I have to make something that, will be more than music, just not just music, but also the side of like how to produce it, how to make it like a material, how to like my ideas, put it all in a CD or in a
Cassette.
pen drive, cassette, vinyl, whatever. Like, well, that's the thing.
I remember my days of music, when I was a child with that Walkman and
With the Walkman,
headphones and after the Walkman it was
the Discman.
the CD player, yep, the Discman. And then all of a sudden life just changed and went straight to the air what is that? I don't even know.
And you have
iPod.
to carry, and
iPod.
you have to carry a big folder of CDs everywhere, heavy.
Exactly. Yeah, like
It
change it.
was.
And the only people that could listen to it were two people, share the headphones and listen to it. So you went to Colombia, you studied music production, you studied how to sound and engineering and everything. Uh, how was it? How was the experience?
Was beautiful. I met the other country, like my neighbor country, which is Colombia, that I really love this country. Many people have speculation of Colombia that it's dangerous.
I was speaking to another guy who I was doing a live session with yesterday. He's from London. He's a property broker, and he actually also went part of his life. He went to Colombia for a year to live with his
Yeah,
auntie. So it's pretty cool to have two people from Colombia, like
yeah,
one day after the other. And it's good. Uh,
that's good because Colombia is such a like rich country in
yeah,
everything, in culture, and people is really nice.
rich in culture, rich in
What's up,
yeah.
Jonathan?
I
That's
had this is the magician. I had
yeah.
the
He's a really
live
good
session.
friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's how I got to know you and through that.
Yeah, I
So
met him. I met him also through music because I was playing in this. I play mostly in chiringuitos. It's like restaurants at the beach.
okay.
So I play every weekends, and that's what I do for work here mostly. So I met them, and they
Right now the weather must be amazing out there.
perfect, man, perfect. But we have a perfect weather now. It's beautiful. It's just that the confinement is driving
Yeah,
people crazy.
it's screwed.
I hope this goes fast. Because man, we have to get out, man.
We have to.
Like I say, I rather live without fear,
Absolutely.
just like
I mean, this is another conversation to have where because yeah, I don't even believe in all this stuff, which is
now we're talking. Yeah,
yeah,
I the same. I think
yeah.
is now it's getting too weird.
I mean, it's too weird. It's too like it's like come on, Do you
And
think
how is it not?
do you think we were born yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, I know the surrounding. Like, the people. You hear stuff. You
Man,
hear people that get.
we're in business. I'm 35 years old. How old are you?
I'm 28.
There you go. We've lived
Yeah,
28, we've done stuff. We're people who possibly lie to our parents, for little sweets and chocolates and all that kind of stuff. And we think that they're
yeah,
not going to find out. Little do we
yeah,
know, our parents are
yeah,
fucking smart asses. Like I see it in
yeah,
myself right now.
yeah,
I've got
yeah,
three kids, right? And when these guys come up and say, Dad, oh, yeah, I forgot about it. But I know
yeah.
that they did not forget about it.
Yeah,
But
man, you
it's
develop the intuition. That's intuition. That
Do you
you know
get
what
me?
I mean.
Okay, I'm their father, so take the advantage.
Ah,
No problem. It's fine. You can carry on the way you are. But when it comes to when there's a problem, then don't come
yeah.
up to me and cry. But anyway, so again, like this is another conversation to have. Uh, so Colombia, I mean, how long did you stay in Colombia for?
I was there for 4 years. Studied there 4 years.
And that's where you did your studies and everything.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
from a music school or
It
how was
was
it?
it's like an institute. Is specialized in production, in
Okay.
music production. So I
And it's
started in another.
one of the best institutes?
It was the one that has only the certification that was valid for like Pro Tools software that for production. So I was like, okay, these guys are legit, so I'm
Legit,
gonna
yeah.
go with them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like the biggest. No, it was a really small institute, really personalized
Yeah, yeah.
teaching. That all the teachers were like really good, like the really good guys that they work with people like Shakira and like big big people. Yeah,
Wow.
Carlos
Wow.
Vives, like
Wow.
all these Latin artists are really big, so they know, they have the experience. They give it to us, no problem. We have the experience of recording and checking out live sessions of like remixing stuff from Bob Marley, from Queen. So you start hearing the live
Different,
sessions.
different stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
different things going on.
How they do it. So how they do it is how you're gonna do it. Like because they're the biggest, so you want to do it like them. And but you need the resources as well. You
But
need a studio.
do you always, when it comes to sort of composing your own music, or playing the guitar or something like that, do you see them as an inspiration to yourself, or you want to do something different to what they've already done?
Exactly. Like you see what they do, and you be like, ah, that's how they did this. So I want to do this, but my way. Like I want to put my flavor in it. I want to
So
put
you
my
so kind of a remix, but a
yeah, exactly.
better way of
And
doing it.
that's and in story of music, that's what everybody has done
Everyone.
and still doing. And when you hear
I mean, till this day, we listen to that Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre music all the way, people using that in different
yeah,
ways but I'm just giving an example because I was
yeah,
listening to
like
it.
for example, blues music like
Yeah,
Led
yeah,
Zeppelin,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
biggest, the oldest. Like they also were covering from other blues
Other
artists, and then
people.
they found their own way. They found their
But
own
people
style.
sort of obviously every generation. How big of a span does a music genre have? Like, let's say Drake, for example, right? It's been what, 10 years now that Drake's been in the industry?
Yeah, way more. I think he's been for.
Commercialized. I'm not talking about
I mean, really big. Yeah,
really big. 10 years, right?
yeah, for sure.
10
10 years,
years.
something.
Do you think people are now getting bored of his music?
Well, this is a guy that's really smart with the trends and what's happening, and he knows what, and he has his own style. And my personal, I don't like this too much pop, hip hop style, but I really like the beats. I really appreciate the production. I really like it, and but I have certain artists that I really like because I get a little bit more hip in
I
that
mean, you're
aspect
you're you're a
of message.
musician, and I'm sure like you're the artist
But
that you.
Drake, he's really smart. He knows what he's doing, and like
But
all these
I
artists.
now I now find his music, like, I don't know, man, boring.
Yeah,
Like, it's the
I,
same style that he carries on and on and
it's a
on and on.
perspective, man. Like I also found it boring. I found it the same cadency of the melody all the time.
Exactly. Like
All the time the same.
for me, I really like Rihanna.
Rihanna is amazing,
I mean,
amazing singer.
her way of music, you will see pop also, you will see
Yeah,
R&B also. I mean, there are other artists who do that, but I don't know. I mean, Lady Gaga and all that, I don't know. But Rihanna,
yeah.
like, really, like, her soft music or her really loud music, they're sort of different, yet her voice is so, you know, I mean, sometimes I think she even beats Beyonce on that.
Yeah. I think like for sure I like Rihanna 10 times better than Beyonce. Like I don't know, no offense to Beyonce lovers, but I really like Beyonce.
Yeah,
She had more flow, like more.
yeah.
She had the raga. She has everything, all the elements.
Maybe,
Like
maybe, maybe,
she comes from
maybe.
Barbados. She
Exactly.
comes from the islands. You know
Th-
what's.
That's it. That's why she knows how to run it. Um. So then, when you finish Columbia, when you finish your studies and everything, then what? What did you
So
do?
I finished my studies, and then I had a girlfriend at the time. She was from America, so I was thinking about going to America. Then we had a situation like I went to Aruba. My mom got married, and she went to Aruba. I go to visit her, everything there, and she had a problem with immigration. She cannot go to the States again, so I stay with her. I say like I'm not gonna go to the States. Stay with my mom. My family. I stay with her. So I stayed there, and by the life, everything, I started going to a bar, and I helped the guy with the sound. Like this is right away I graduate. So I help the guy with the sound, and then this guy's like, "Hey, you know about sounds?" Like, "Yeah, I know a little bit, this and that." And then he's like, "Oh, you also play music?" "Yeah, a little this and that." "You know recording?" I say, "Yes, I can help you with the recording. Perfect. I am a music producer. I just graduate, man." And
Yeah.
the guy's like, "Okay, can you go tomorrow to my studio? I need to record some guys from here that I cannot go. I have work to do, but I really need someone to do it." I say, perfect. So some friends of mine refer me. So the guy gave me the trust. So I start going to the studio, recording these guys. And then by the week I start recording, the guy's like, okay, hey man, I like what you do. Like, can you stay on the island? I will do everything to put the papers on. And I say, let's do it. So I start like moving on. I stay in the island for 2 years in Aruba Island in the Caribbean. I worked for was called Sunny Ray Entertainment. We were doing all this type of sound, like we just like
Reggaeton and all that. Or no?
mostly it was it's a main entertainment company for all the hotels and
Okay.
all the restaurants and stuff.
Okay.
So we were like I was the sound man at the beginning. He didn't know I was able to sing and doing stuff. So I started as a sound man. It wasn't a good pay,
Yeah.
but I was like, let's do it, man. Sometimes I had 16
You gotta
hours
do it, right? When it comes to your career, you want to
Yeah.
make a mark, and especially if someone's come from the front and said, "Do you know this? Can you do this? Can you do that?" You know, give it a shot. Let's see where it takes you.
So at the end, I started doing like I was doing the sounds, like setting up the sound for the concerts, and sometimes a guitarist wouldn't come, and I was like, "Hey man, I know the songs, I could play it, no problem." And the guy's like, "Okay, go find the uniform." Blah, blah, blah. So I was doing double work at the end, and this guy's like, "Okay, I want you here." So I say, "Okay, I'm gonna keep it here." And then he's like, "Hey, I had a better soundman than you, so if you want to just be a musician, just do it." And I say, "Perfect," because I didn't like the soundman work.
Okay.
It's very stressful. I am more of a
But
musician.
did that put you down, like kind of thing, when he said that I don't want you as a soundman?
Not really, because I know the guy that came. Like, the guy was really good, and he's like, "Hey man, I know that you struggle a little bit with this and that." And I say, "Yeah, it's not what I study. I'm more of a studio guy. I'm not for live music. For live music, it's another study."
But the fact that when that guy took you on board, he took you on board for the soundman job, right?
No, it took me mostly for kind of for everything, because
Oh,
in the
so
islands you
so
have to be like
ad
hustling.
hoc everything basically.
You have to hustle. Like, I was soundman and everything then, and it was good because you give you a lot of experience, and then you learn to work tirelessly. Like, you don't get like getting tired. That's not on your head. You just go work, do your thing. But then when you have to sing, you have to play. It's another thing. You have to put the rest. That's why this guy is like, "Hey, I don't want you as a soundman now. Go work, just musician. Work on your repertoire." And this way I started even like playing for Hard Rock Cafe for 2 years. We made a band. We played for DB Phoenix, Marriott Hotel. We had a reggae nights every Thursday on Marriott Hotel.
Wow.
I met a musician. I met a guy named Scott Mike Stern. Mike Stern is a jazz musician, really big.
Yep.
So this is a really fun story. I was playing there in the Marriott with my really good friend Checho, bass guy, amazing bass guy. We were playing there, playing our covers, la 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 la, all this kind of stuff. And this my friend is like, "Hey, that's Mike Stern." I said, "No." I look, Mike Stern was there. So he approached at the end, say hi. He's like, "Hey, nice stuff, man." I say, "No, man, this is just
This is nothing
simple
compared
music."
to what you're doing.
Simple music, because that week was the Caribbean Jazz Festival. So that's why every jazz musician was on the hotel. So it was really fun to really nice to see Mike Stern
mix with them, kind of.
Yeah. So Mike Stern, at the end, he approached and he helped us carry everything to the car. And he invited us to the jam and everything. We were like, "No, we cannot. Yeah, we are not allowed to go in the jam because you need a special invitation." But it was really good experience. Like, such a big guy with such a humble heart, was amazing.
It's always good to find these kind of people. It's not only about them being a celebrity and you boasting about them that, "Oh, I met this celebrity," but it's also the fact that these guys who stay on the ground, even though that they have touched the sky.
Yeah.
That's what kind of attracts you more towards them, kind of to possibly see them as more of an inspiration than anything, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, bigness, such a
so
greatness.
Big yet humble.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. And so that was a really nice story. And so working with the hotels and everything, and then the guy gave me the trust of having like different bands. So we had many musicians in the company, and then we were like, "Hey, you were gonna play with this and this today, and then with this and this today," and we never rehearsed, man. We never rehearsed. It was just like okay, it has to sound like the track, man. So everybody knows how the track sounds, so you have to be ready. That's it.
So
No mistakes.
as a musician, have you ever been in that situation that you don't know the track, yet you have to play it? So how long does it take you to let's say you get one listen of the track, will you pick it up and start playing?
Yeah, you have to. Sometimes we Google it. Like people come with requests, and we ended up Googling it in an iPad and just come on, man, let's play it. We had many situations that we ended up improvising the song, just like making up the words. But the music, it's because now we understand music. We know what's the construction of the harmony.
Yeah.
So in commercial music, it's not that hard. It's not like we're playing jazz music or really hardcore
Which is
folklore.
the hardest genre to play?
Jazz for sure, because jazz you need to study a lot what is music harmony. So because you need to understand what's happening in everything, because for example, in normal music you're making a scale, like you're just playing like, and this, you're playing this kind of stuff. But with
Yeah.
jazz they go like,
Okay. It's more hard work.
and then they shuffle every kind of chord, so it's a
and then you have to sort of, in jazz you have to mix it with the guitar, with
everything,
with the, what do you call it, that big saxophone, and all that kind of stuff.
So jazz, I'd say like this, like there's a really big musician in London I really follow. It's called Jacob Collier.
I might listen to him. I've not heard him yet, but I might.
Jacob Collier. He's even a piano teacher for the singer from Coldplay, and he's really young guy, but he's a genius, genius musician, and I really follow him, and he explained it so nice. He's like, yeah, when your music is here, but your technique is here, then you need to like improve your technique. So it's like saying like you're imagining something, but you want to put that what you're
imagination in front of you.
So you cannot do it if you don't practice your technique.
Exactly.
So if you imagine like, and if you cannot able to do it with your guitar, then it's like it's an exercise. Like since I'm in Spain, I really get in love with flamenco and all this because of here this coast. It's really influenced.
Yeah.
Morocco, all these
Algeria, Tunisia.
Middle East
the Arabic influence. So Aruba and then to Spain. How long was that?
So after Aruba, I don't go to Spain. I go to Berlin.
Oh, that was nice. That must be nice.
So I go to Berlin. I have a friend in Berlin because in Aruba I work a lot. I started making, I was making my living very nice.
It was good.
It was good.
Times were good.
Times were good. I had my little car. I had my surfboard. I could go surf, play music, have a really nice and healthy lifestyle.
So a life that a billionaire always dreams of. You were just.
Yeah, it was like living in a postcard.
Without the billions.
Without the billions, but I know I had really good friends that you can go to their houses, and then you know what they have. It's nice, but still, it's a really humble. It's only 100,000 people in the island, so you get to meet everybody.
Everyone.
I get to learn a little bit of Papiamento, is the language from there. It's really nice.
No, this is what you get with travel, right? You stay in a place for a few years, you pick up the language, move on.
Yeah.
You've got an asset. It's an asset.
You have to do it because you're going to this place. Like you have to show some respect somehow. The same, like the first language I learned was English, and I just keep going with English because I love music in English. I really like all
the sounds, the words, the way the words are pronounced and everything. I mean, I don't mind if someone came and sat next to me and they were playing Spanish music or they were playing music from Aruba, for example. I would never say, dude, switch it off. I don't like it.
Oh, no.
I always listen. Look, I've got a theory. When I listen to music myself, I listen to what I like, right?
What kind of music you like?
Something that's got bass, R&B,
Okay.
hip hop, something with a
Yeah.
bass,
Yeah.
slow, a bit fast. I don't like all that techno stuff and all that shit. It's
Okay. Okay.
yeah. But but if I'm with someone, like right now I'm with you,
Yeah.
and you're playing whatever music, I wouldn't tell you to switch it off because I like to listen to what other people listen to for that short period of time. It'd be half an hour, it'd be 20 minutes, it'd be 15
Yeah.
minutes, 5 minutes even. I will
Yeah.
listen to that music because the other person is
Yeah.
listening to it. And if they're listening techno, I might tell them to switch it down a bit. Don't switch it off, just put it down a bit. But
It's funny
that's
that you talk about techno because I was about to tell you about techno because
go ahead.
then I go to Berlin.
Yeah.
So I go to Berlin.
And
I have a
that's a
friend there.
totally very fast, like that.
Man, I go to Berlin thinking, I go to my friend's house and he has a techno label. Like he has a techno label. I say, okay. So I started messing around with a machine that I have. It's a loop station. I don't know if you have seen my videos with the loop station.
No.
I have some videos on YouTube and also on my Instagram
Okay.
that's what I work with the loop station. So with the loop station, I place the beat, boom, then I let this happening and I play on top. And this is how I play all the music
Okay.
with the loop station.
Gotcha.
So I start doing loop station and I start doing also techno and messing around with techno and this electronic, with everything coming from my mouth, processing live. So I go to Berlin and I met this is a really interesting culture with techno culture. I didn't get it. It's not my thing. I'm more a Caribbean guy.
Yeah.
But I experienced it and I went to the craziest nightclub in Berlin. And I can tell you, like, the things I saw there was like, okay, this is another world.
I mean,
And
so what happens in a nightclub stays in a nightclub, right?
exactly. You cannot say anything, man. You can say, and this is the biggest club in Berlin, and my friends were like locals there all the time going there. This a group of Italian Colombian. I met this guy in Colombia, so that's why he was like, hey, you should come to Berlin with your music. You can get along. So I go to Berlin thinking all of this, but the first barrier you get is the language.
Exactly.
German. Very hard.
Did you
Very
learn
hard.
it?
So I learned some. I can defend myself a little
You
bit.
can defend yourself.
Yes. But it's hard, man. You need. They say life is too short to learn German. That's what they say, man. It's a very hard language. But I learned some, and my girlfriend is also German, so I
Okay.
try to teach me, and so yeah,
But
I met her in Berlin.
you're in Spain right now. So is she with you or is she in?
No, now she's in Germany because she had to go for work. But yeah,
Okay.
she's always coming and going because you can get really cheap flights from here to Germany actually.
Okay. Cool.
And it was perfect time that she can stay there also working because staying here with no work is hard. Also,
Exactly. There's all this lockdown and stuff.
Yeah.
So Germany.
Oh yeah, Germany was
And
Germany
then
made me
that was
go
like 2 years, 3 years.
2 years I stayed
2 years.
there. 2 years. 2 years I stayed in Berlin, and this made me step up all my artistic game, my singing, everything.
Because
I
you
had
came from that Spanish culture, smooth reggae, jazz, all that kind of together, and now you've escalated onto the, boom, boom, boom,
multicultural.
like techno, proper, fast music. And
But also Berlin has a scene that it's so like rich in culture. You have people from everywhere. So jazz scene, reggae scene, everything.
it's like
Every
London,
scene
right?
you have.
It's like London.
I think London has a way bigger reggae scene and like drum and bass, this style,
Yeah, of
jungle.
course. Garage, jungle,
Yeah.
everything,
There's
really.
a bad boy in London.
There are a lot of beatboxers out here.
I know, man, the biggest ones.
I never knew about beatboxing because
No?
I come from Pakistan. So I came here
Oh, yeah.
at the age of 20 or something like that, right? And when I came here at the age of 20, I was like, what are these guys doing, making noises from their mouth? And then I understood that these guys are actually
Simulating
beatboxing. That's called beatboxing. Okay,
Yeah.
so then I started listening. I quite enjoyed it. People making
Yeah.
all sorts of sounds from their mouth. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing because it's like you're a person. You're your instrument.
And
you
it's
can
coming out.
do
It's coming
beats.
out. It's coming out like within
Yeah.
from you.
If you follow, there's also a page. There's an organization called Swiss Beatbox, and they organize the whole beatbox scene
nothing
in
to do
Europe.
with nothing to do with Swiss Beats, is it?
No, they call Swiss Beatbox,
Okay.
but they are an organization of so many beatboxers that all of them are so good, and they do battles, like French guy against London guy or whatever. They do all kind of
I might check it out.
even
Swiss
Japanese beatbox,
beatbox. Okay, cool. I'll check
and
it out.
they do beatbox, only beatbox, and they also do with the machine. I'm telling you, the loop station. So it's really interesting, man, what these people do. And there's a guy there, half the Arabic influence. It's called
Yeah, yeah.
MD14, and he plays this like only with his mouth, and he can simulate the,
Let's see
you
if I
know,
can. Let's see if I can get a beatboxer on my live session someday. It'd be good. It'd be good to have one.
I can refer you one. I meet
Can
some
you do that?
beatboxers. Yeah, I will find one, and I will send it to you for
Super.
sure.
That'd be great.
So you have a pro beatboxer, because
Absolutely.
I'm a funny beatboxer.
No, man. I mean, everyone's experience, everyone's knowledge
No, dude,
is
I believe I beatbox until I met good beatboxers,
the
man.
real
I
people.
was like, oh, okay,
Have you
I
heard
stay
of
on my
Have you
music.
heard of Have you heard of Jay Sean in the UK?
Jay Sean.
Jay Sean, the guy who did his Asian guy, Indian guy who did his music also with Little Wayne, um, British Asian, and he's pretty good at beatboxing. Pretty good at
Okay.
beatboxing.
Wow, there's so many ones. There's so many that now you get lost. But yeah, we'll check it out. What was that?
Jay Sean.
Jay Sean. Perfect.
I'll type
What
it
was your
here.
name again, man? You didn't tell me
Mortaza.
your name. Mortaza.
Mortaza.
Man.
That's how the
That's a
Spanish
nice
people.
name, man. That's a
Yeah.
really cool name.
I mean,
Mortaza.
I always learn like when I came here, my name was pronounced so many other ways. Like my parents call it Mortaza, right?
Mortaza. Yeah.
When I speak to an Arab, they call it Mortada.
Mortada.
When I speak to an English person, it's like Mortaza.
Mortaza.
Yeah.
Italian. Yeah.
And then when I speak to a Spanish, it's like Mortaza.
Yeah.
You know.
Mortaza.
Yeah.
No, I'm from Venezuela. Mortaza.
Yeah. So
Mortaza.
different.
Accents.
And then when my wife calls me out, it's like Mortaza. Yeah. It's like
That's so funny, man. But yeah,
um,
man, I was telling you, yeah, in Berlin. Then I found out that, I start struggling with economically. I didn't find a good job. I start just busking, man. I was like, okay, I'm going to busk. I'm going to get in the world of busking, playing in the street, getting in touch with people. I started doing that. The beginning was really hard, pretty afraid. I'll get 10 euros in 1 hour and be like, whew, something. But then I start going crazy. I didn't care. I was like, I'm not gonna care. I'm just gonna be me, do my thing.
this
I
is
start bringing my
exactly me right now. Like when I started doing these live sessions, I was like, hold on a second, what am I doing? First I was like talking to myself, on the live session, you can
yes,
go up, pick up a topic, start speaking about it. But then it was getting boring, like literally
yeah,
boring, talking to
sure,
myself. And then one day my friend came online and I was speaking to him and we started speaking about work, about his job, what he does and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought, hold on a second, if I can do this with him, I can do this with anyone.
yeah,
Why not meet people, have a live session with them, 20 minutes, hour, whatever, share the knowledge,
yeah,
share what people are doing. Because right now, everyone, like you said, is confined. There is
yes,
no place to go. People want to see stuff. Okay, there's only a max amount of Netflix that you can see, or Instagram, going through posts and everything. Why not look at someone talking, discussing stuff like it's real life
yeah,
stories, right?
yeah, for
You
sure.
can't. I mean, I can't go up to, for example, Shakira and tell her, okay, come on a live session with me. I mean, my account's gonna get boosted big time. But the point is that
Maybe someday, man.
I hope so. That's the whole point of doing these talk shows.
Yeah,
Get to people that you can possibly dream of, that you can get.
and the best thing you're doing it.
Exactly,
Making it,
exactly,
creating it.
exactly, and that's the whole point, and that's what I want to do. So, you were doing this in Berlin, and then you started singing on streets.
Yes, man. I started just giving my heart out in the street with my loop station, and just like with all the struggle, I had a really big speaker, weighted like 25 kilo. I have to bring this everywhere with with a bicycle, and bring the also a power inverter with a
And it could be
car
raining,
battery.
it could be sunny, it could
Yes,
be windy, it could be
yeah,
anything, but you were still doing it there.
you have to do it, man. That's is that or getting a really
What's the lowest amount that you earned one day?
uh €6, man. It
And
was
what was
six
the
euro,
highest amount that you earned?
250.
Wow, not bad.
And this is a this
And
was
what's the
a
what's the what's the daily amount that you would earn, like average? How,
100, because
how,
I'm also not that greedy, man. I just want to take care of my boys, you know. I
so
it's
so
a
once you
I could
once
do it.
you once you were singing and you made 100, then you would just pack up and leave.
I kind of know by the weight. I started getting the experience. I started I started like, okay, this is pretty heavy. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go, man. I have enough to to
To
save
take out the
some for
next
the rent.
day.
Yeah, and then I started, I started going really early. I made friends of a really nice market called Hackescher Market.
Okay.
It was a really nice, really like nice Turkish food, and food from all type Italians and
So like a
Latins.
market, right? From all
Yeah,
over the
like a
place,
market.
everyone coming and
Yeah,
selling their stuff out there.
and it was in a really nice small park, and so I started like playing there in front of the Kinderplatz. It's called the playground of the kids. So I started playing there with my guitar, and I stopped doing the loop station and all this struggle. I started just like beatboxing and playing guitar at the same time, and singing and doing this type of stuff. And I started making more money with more simple stuff, because I was just showing myself what I could do with only me and a guitar.
And then what did you make out there?
And then I start seeing like people giving. Sometimes they will give me a bill, some like 20, €50, and be like like I was like, why you give me this? Like, I remind a really good, like, that's what you start getting like connecting with people, because that song connect him in a
Spiritual
time of their
way, and
life.
yeah, exactly,
No,
exactly.
it takes them through time, and it
Yeah,
takes them through time. And maybe they're having a really bad day, and they just come and they just try to give you something, because you're playing there without expecting nothing. I never
exactly.
go out. I don't like going at people and be like, I don't do that. I like to
Yeah.
work hard, because I like to work hard. I consider myself a little bit hardcore with everything, because I like things. I also do like very reactive person, and I express it in the music. That's how
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm a hyperactive people, guy, and
yeah.
that's why I be able to do this through music, man. Just focus, and this how I channel all my angers, all my frustrations I have, because I have to leave my country. I have to deal with all this stuff that I didn't want to leave my country.
So music sort of releases that pressure,
Yeah, you get in touch.
the daily pressures of life. You release them through music.
You found the divine. You found something divine. There's something else, and it's there, man. It's following you, and it's leading you, and like it's. I started going, like, for example, here in Spain. I was playing in the street. I needed to go to the dentist,
Yep.
and that day I was playing Nothing Else Matters from Metallica, but in reggae style. And this guy come like dressing as a Buddhist. He come €50. I say, huh? This is what I needed for the dentist. Like, what the fuck? Like, God just sent me this. Like, you're like, what? You start seeing signs. Like, huh?
Yeah.
And I also had really bad experience with really haters. You
Same,
had
same.
everything, but you always get more people that are nice than bad, because you always have one
If
little.
you're nice, then the world is nice to you. I mean, yes, of course. Like, in the
There
property
are
world,
assholes.
of course, 110%, 110%.
Yes.
Like, I'm in the property world, right? And when I want to work with another agent, like for example, I have a client and that other person has a property, and then I'll call them up and they'll be like, oh yeah, normally what happens is if I have a client and you have a property, we would split the commissions. That when we do a deal, like let's say we are earning
Yeah.
£1,000, you keep 500 or 600, and I
Yeah.
keep the balance, right? Some
Yeah.
agents will be like, no, we don't do split commissions. We don't like splitting our properties. I'm like, come on, man, grow up, seriously. Seriously,
Yeah,
grow up, you know. But
it's
anyways,
consideration, man.
exactly. Like I had a argument with an agent on Instagram, and he actually said he. I asked him, let's do a live session. He's quite big. I mean, he's in Surrey, and I said to him, like, let's do a live session. So he went onto my profile, and on my profile, he saw that I've claimed that I'm the number one property agent in the UK, right? So he came and asked me, like, how do you claim yourself to be the number one property agent in the UK? Have you appeared in this book or that book or this
Yeah.
document and Forbes and Spears and all? I was like, no, I self-proclaim myself. And what?
Yeah, I mean,
And
these
what?
guys are
And what? And what?
posers.
You know, like, am I copying someone? Am I copying your style? Am I copying am I doing something that is hindering your business? No. Take it, accept it, and move on. So
Yeah.
yesterday I texted him saying, so we had this argument, oh, this, that, the other, you know, blah, blah, blah. You're lying to people on social media and all that kind of stuff. I was like, you know what? Anyways, another day.
Now we
Check.
live in these times, man, of
Exactly,
disinformation.
exactly.
People can do
Let's work
anything,
together. Let's do stuff. Anyways, I texted him. I said I had a query for the area that he works in. He works with luxury, big houses on the countryside and all that kind of stuff. So I had an inquiry for someone who wanted to rent a countryside house. So I sent him a message like, "This is your area. You're dealing with it." You know what he replied?
Was
"I'm not going to deal with you because the way you spoke to me."
Mel.
I was like, "All the best. Let's move on. Let's move on."
Yes. Yeah,
Because
man.
I thoroughly believe, Eduardo, that one day, one day, you will need me.
Yeah,
One day you will need me. That's it.
for sure.
That's it.
That's why you always have to make. I always believe in this. Like I've been traveling so much now that I've been doing connections with many people, and because I am my mom used to call me Barney when I was a kid because I used to make friends with everyone.
Yeah.
Friends with everyone. Just come home with 6 people, be like, and like 10 years older, 5 years, like, and be like, I have a gang. I have a gang right now of people. You know, I was like this all the time, man. Make friends with everyone, and this I like to do it because you
You
you always
gotta,
like to give because
exactly.
you give without asking, man, and then you don't know where
Absolutely.
this takes you. And now here in Spain, dude, I have really good connection with British people. There's really nice British people that come to live in Spain, and I have like a British family here. Like
Seriously.
shout out to them if they see this video
No,
again, man. To
I'm
Lena,
gonna put it out. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna put it out in different
yeah,
sequences.
and
So
some.
let's
So
see.
yeah, this I met these people also through music. I was playing in this chiringuito. They come to see me every time, and then start. I play for the kids' birthday one time, and we start making connections. We like the same stuff. They are like they have this mountain and with this. They also do like Airbnb here in Spain.
Yeah.
They have the guys. And Richard is the carpenter, and he makes really really good like cabins, and he works with his hands. He makes the whole. They have like a Mongolish yurt
Okay.
area that
Okay.
you can. If you ever want to come to Spain, you tell me. I link you to them. They have really good price.
Absolutely, I will definitely. Like
You will stay.
that's the next destination that
Yeah,
my wife has on her books. You know.
you need to go there because you will stay in a Mongolish yurt in the mountain, full on silence, almond trees everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, you literally can pick the almonds, break them, eat them.
Seriously, I
Yeah, amazing.
might have to try that out. So now you're in Spain. You're doing your
Yeah.
stuff. You're in
Yeah.
the game.
Well, I
Where
mean,
I've got 10 minutes of the session. In that, you have to play
yes,
me a bit of guitar as well. So,
yes, sure, man.
but before we go to that, what's your advice to youngsters or the younger generation that's now aspiring to be the next musicians, the next Drakes, the next Rihannas? Um, what would you say to them?
Hey, just be yourself and work in yourself the maximum. Like find the most fun character you can be and the most original. Like there are people that you imagine that you want to be, just be that. Just be that and don't care, because at the end, somebody gonna hate you, somebody gonna love you. That's life, man.
Exactly.
That's gonna be every time. You
Exactly.
cannot be trying to like everyone, because that's not gonna happen. That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
real. That's the thing. And like me and you, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
people that we don't
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
people that like, and
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you, in the street, you're always gonna find someone that don't like you, but
Exactly. Exactly. But
one that don't like you, but 10 that like you.
absolutely. 100 that like you.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
that one does not matter. But anyways,
for sure.
Eduardo, let's carry on with
See,
anything, anything that you want to.
I have a song.
A bit
It's
of
called
a bit of
Be Aware.
a bit of beatboxing, maybe.
Yeah, it has beatbox. It has
Cool.
everything.
Super.
Yeah.
Say it's about time to decide. What am I gonna do now? I'm just in this town. I got to see on around. I don't want to fight, but one time I've been found out. So I have to survive. Speaking out of my mind, you get to be aware. Before sure, you don't have to stay if you want to go. If I got no clue, not gonna let this stop, just gonna let it flow. You got to be aware. Before sure, you don't have to stay if you want to go. If I got no clue, not gonna let it stop. You got to wake up and live and forgive. You know we only share this life that we live. Take no offenses too serious. You know some people with the envy are the curious. Them talk too much, you know, about who judge a bless, and no one can curse. And I know all this when I keep it irie. When I go in the street and I breathe, you got to be aware. Before show, you don't have to stay if you want to go. If I got no clue, not gonna let it stop, just gonna let it flow.
Woohoo!
Thanks, man. It's a song called Be Aware. I wrote that when I go to Berlin on the streets.
That's good. That's good. I could see the bit of Caribbean Bob Marley sort of
Yeah, it has
in there.
the, yeah, kind of R&B, but also reggae. I like to mix it up, because I love both genres and a lot of feeling. And it is a song that came up like that. And
Super,
yeah, be
super.
aware, be for sure. You don't have to stay if you want to go, man. Like that's the,
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's been
like
an
let it flow.
absolute
Yeah, it was
pleasure to have you
for
on.
sure, man.
Thank you so much for joining
Mortaza.
me, Eduardo. It's been great to know your story, your career so far. You're 28 years old. You're young. You're younger
Yeah,
than me.
still
And I
going.
wish you the very best in life. And I hope that start making music with the big,
Uh,
big guns within the music industry.
hey, yes,
Um,
man.
and all the best.
Hopefully you come to Spain, man. And, we meet
Absolutely,
someday. I
absolutely.
introduce you to
You're
my
on my
the British
Instagram.
connection.
You're on my Instagram now, so you'll be
Yeah, dude,
the
good, man.
first person to know when I come to
Also,
Spain.
if you want to listen to my music, I have a Spotify, Satafly. You can find
Okay,
me there.
super.
I have only 2 tracks there going. I also have a SoundCloud, Satafly as well. Also on YouTube, and if you want to check. Hey, Jonathan, you have to do some tricks the next time I see
Absolutely.
you. This guy
Yeah,
always blows my mind.
I have
It's
to. I
really
have to.
good.
I have to sit
Both.
down. I have to sit down with him again to do
I
another
call them
session.
the JoJo's brothers. The
Yeah, yeah.
JoJo's
The
brothers.
two twins. But
Oh
anyways,
my God, they're good. Good.
thank you so much,
Yo, guy.
Eduardo. That's Sata Fly, who's joined us today on a live session. If you're interested in his music, want
Cheers.
him to produce your music, follow him, like him, and hit him up on his
Also,
Instagram.
music for animation, also, all stuff like that.
Super.
Cheers.
Take care. Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much. Bye bye. Wow, that was an amazing live session with my first musician live session. So it was great to have Eduardo Fly. Go and check him out on Spotify, and he's also got it on SoundCloud. So do check him out. I'm going to put his track as a separate live story that I do later. But thank you so much for listening, guys. It's been great. Whoever's going to view in the next 24 hours, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, weekend, whatever you're doing. Enjoy barbecue, anything that you're doing. Take care. Bye bye.